I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda. Roll call. Ms. Palacios.
Governing Board President, Dr. John Sparks.
Present.
Governing Board Clerk, Mr. Anthony Bruno, absent. Governing Board Member, Ms. Amy Petersmark.
Present.
Governing Board Member, Mrs. Denise Reese.
Present.
Governing Board Member, Mr. Raul Rodriguez, absent. District Administration Superintendent, Dr. Manuel Valenzuela.
Present.
Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Lisette Huey.
Present.
Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Darlene Robinson.
Present.
Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Scott Downs.
Here. Very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda. Approval of the agenda.
Yes, sir. Thank you, President Sparks. And I would note, since we are, I guess you'd call it a little short-staffed or short board, that we do have a quorum
We do
this
have a quorum.
evening, just for the record. And with that, I would recommend approval of the agenda as it was revised this evening.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion about the agenda? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, approval of the minutes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, President Sparks, members of the board. In your packet, you have draft copies of the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting of the board way back on February 25th, 2026. And after your review and consideration, I would recommend approval at this time.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item, and my thing just logged me out. But I do believe the next item on the agenda is superintendent's report.
And your guess is correct,
I remember
Dr.
from all
Sparks.
these
And
years.
besides, Ms. Betsy always
Thank you.
has the safety net for you. And you are correct. It is my report. So I'm going to make a few comments, and then I have a little video to show you. But one that I just learned recently is the other day, last week, I was on the campus of the Sahuarita High School speaking with Principal Magnuson. And we were talking, and a young lady came by and told us that she was going up to compete in the Arizona State All-State Band, Orchestra, and Choir competition. And she was very humble and said, "It's very competitive, and I'm just going to go have fun and go do my best." Because this is like the all-star musicians of all of Arizona. And we had one student that made it, and her name's Geneva Sparks, the all-everything music French horn player for the Arizona State Orchestra, which is awesome. Yeah. I just learned that today. I'm telling you, I never have to look far to hear about the greatness of our students and their great accomplishments. And it always is like a breath of fresh air and just encouragement and affirmation for the work we do together. I did want to wish everybody a nice spring break. And before I show this video, I just want to tell you, I often say, when one of us succeeds, we all succeed. And so the success sometimes is delayed. Way back when I came here in 2005, but in 2007, in 2005, I met a young man who went to Sahuarita High School. His name is Manny Beretta, and he graduated in 2007. He was drafted by the New York Yankees in the 12th round, and he's been grinding through the minor leagues of professional baseball, seeking his baseball dream, and made us proud. He's a kid from Amado. Grew up here, parents worked here, just a fine young man. He was on our last state championship Sahuarita High School team, by the way, which was way back in 2005. He was coached by Brian Huey, who you'll hear a little bit more about later on. But the other day, I turned on the TV, and I just want to set the stage for you before she plays this 10-second video. Manny Beretta is pitching. He's now like in his late 30s, which makes me feel kind of old. He's pitching for the national Mexican team, for Team Mexico. And he's playing against Team USA, which is the best team in the world. You've got players like Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, Kyle Schwarber, the best in the world. And he's got the bases loaded, one of our kids, and he's on the world stage. And he's facing Cal Raleigh, who hit 60 home runs last year and was this close from being the MVP of the American League. Check this out.
3 games in the big leagues, but a big-time reputation back in Mexico. Big game pitcher there. His 0-2 to Raleigh. Did he go? He did, and Barreda's out of the first inning jam. The U.S. leaves the bases loaded, and after 1 in Houston, no score.
That's awesome. You know, every time they shine, we shine. Makes me so proud. And I believe with that, I'll turn the floor back to you, President Sparks.
Much. We'll go ahead and move on to governing board reports, which will be a little shorter than normal today. Ms. Reese.
So for tonight, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that we have a group of SHS students that are currently traveling in Australia and New Zealand. They took some of their staff members with them. So just wanting to put out, safe travels to them. And then I also want to wish good luck to our NJROTC unit. Their orienteering teams are left today to go to Florida to compete in their national competition. So the orienteering teams are on their way to Florida today to compete in their national competition. And then the week after spring break, all of the field meet teams for our NJROTC are traveling to Florida to compete in their national competitions. They won the right a few weeks ago to represent our region. The field meet includes academics, drill, both armed and unarmed, and then the physical competitions that they do. So I'm just wanting to put some good look out to all of our kids that are traveling to represent their region and their school district and their school at those national level competitions. So, and then that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you very much, Ms. Peterman.
Thank you. So last Friday was Employee Appreciation Day, so I'd be remiss if I didn't thank everyone in this district, all the employees, for everything everyone does every day to make it a fantastic district. Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone and working together to help every student succeed, which is what we're going to celebrate tonight. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We really, really love this meeting every month. It's awesome. And Ms. Reese and I had the honor of cutting the ribbon for the opening of the tennis courts at Walden Grove. If you have a chance, go by and see those. They're amazing. I want to thank again Swain and Core Construction. And thank you, sir, for all you did to make that possible. We appreciate you, Mr. Downs. So thank you again. It was so much fun. And if you have time, please stop by this spring and support the student athletes at their different events that they have going on. It's so much fun. So if you have time, go ahead and stop on by. So those are the very positive things I wanted to talk about tonight. But most unfortunately, I just wanted to bring up that we had alumni pass away, Walden Grove, sorry. Class of 2024 a couple weeks ago was a hit and run accident. Jack, he is a wrestler for us. He was an Eagle Scout. He always made everybody laugh. He did a back flip at graduation, and he's just a great kid. And I know maybe he wasn't a kid anymore, but he'll always be a kid to us because he was 19 and he's no longer with us. So I just wanted to ask if it'd be okay for a moment of silence for Jack, and then for all those who have passed away in our community in the recent months. So thank you. Thank you so much, and wish everyone a wonderful spring break, and please be safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just grateful you're all here tonight. I think, it reminds me that we live in a community, and I've lived in this community for a long time now, and I'm grateful as all of you sit out here with your young people and are here to celebrate their successes. And we hire new principals today. We make a lot of, changes in our community. I am forever grateful that I live in a community that not only cares about education, but cares about kids, cares about each other. And I think this last week has taught me that. So I'm grateful that you're all here. And I'm always grateful when Dr. Valenzuela gushes about one of my own children. So I'm proud of Geneva. But thank you for all being here. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda. The next item on the agenda is our recognitions for the month. And we'll go ahead and I think we'll start with staff, and then we have a team member recognition too.
That is correct. We have a special recognition. So we'll begin, if it's okay, with the support staff teammate of the month. And we always talk about how vital our support staff is to the accomplishment of our mission. And we have amazingly talented, professional, and mission-driven individuals that genuinely care. And we're going to hear another shining example this evening, Mr. Downs.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Valenzuela. I wish we could do this once a week because we have so many deserving people, and when we read the nominations, it's very hard to pick one person. So we have wonderful people, but it is my pleasure to read this nomination from Ms. Lizette Huey, Chief Financial Officer, and endorsed by our Transportation Director, Mr. Fiesler. They have nominated Ms. Geneva Mooney as the Sahuarita Unified School District Support Staff Member of the Month. Geneva consistently demonstrates exceptional customer service in every interaction. Whether speaking with parents, drivers, school staff, or administrators, she approaches each situation with professionalism, patience, and genuine care. She understands that transportation plays a critical role in a student's day and treats every concern with urgency, respect, and compassion. Beyond her strong work ethic, Geneva brings a vibrant and positive spirit to the workplace. Her energy uplifts the entire team, helping to maintain morale during even the busiest and most demanding days. She fosters collaboration, encourages teamwork, and helps create an environment where everyone feels valued and supported. She is also committed to continuous growth, consistently seeking opportunities to learn new systems, processes, and best practices. Our transportation department navigates complex logistics every day, and thanks to committed professionals like Geneva, our students and families are consistently well cared for. Again, Ms. Geneva Mooney as our Sahuarita Unified School District Support Staff Member of the Month.
You make a difference. Thank you. President Sparks, before we go on to our volunteer of the year from Sahuarita Primary School, you may think back to our last meeting. We had one of our teammates achieve a very special distinction. Ms. Janice Haydeen, who's the music teacher at Sahuarita Intermediate School, was recognized nationally by the National Association of Music Education Award. And it cited kind of her innovation and her initiative to really exemplify the highest ideals of music education. In her case, I remember she focused on increasing access to instruments so that all students could have access to instrument education, even at the elementary level. And she wrote grants, and she sought out donations, and she made sure that anybody who wanted to play an instrument was not going to be denied that opportunity. And for that and many other accomplishments and the positive example she sets, Ms. Haydeen was honored. She couldn't be with us last time, but she's here with us this evening. And so it's an honor to recognize Ms. Janice Haydeen for this amazing national honor. Thank you, Chad.
Congratulations.
May we continue,
Yes,
President
please.
Sparks? Very well. Then we'll move on to the March Volunteer of the Year. And I'll just say that nothing exemplifies the virtue of service more than volunteerism, giving of yourself and of your time and of your talents because you care. And we have people that do that, and we are so much better for that value and that culture that I think really defines who we are as a community. And I think it's one of the very, very special things about our community and our district. So to tell us about another shining example of volunteerism and service, I'll turn it back to Mr. Downs.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Valenzuela. It is with great enthusiasm and deep appreciation that Sahuarita Primary School nominates Linda Lenz to be recognized as our Volunteer of the Year. For more than 16 years, again, 16 years, Linda has faithfully volunteered hundreds of young learners. Her unwavering commitment to early childhood education has made her an integral part of many classes and a treasured presence in the lives of hundreds of students. Linda's impact can be seen in the countless daily moments, sitting beside a child as they sound their way through their very first words, patiently guiding a student to count to 20 with confidence, playing games that nurture cooperation and social growth, or quietly cleaning paintbrushes and tables after a busy project. No task is too small, and no child is overlooked. She meets everyone with grace, patience, and dedication. Her devotion to young learners reflects an extraordinary commitment to her community. Her service has left an incredible mark on hundreds of students, and her influence will be felt for many years again. Again, for the last 16 years, Linda has done this. Again, SPS Volunteer of the Year.
Thank you for all you do.
Linda, thank you so much for giving of yourself in service to our mission and our children. I just realized that, Linda, you've been volunteering here as long as I've been superintendent, which is a long time. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to March Leader in Character. I think your favorite and my favorite part
It's
of board meetings.
special to recognize because our students are shining examples of the work we do and our shared collaboration among not just the school and the staff, coaches, the teachers, but also the home, the parents, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles. Helping build up these young people is a team effort. And as parents and family, you are first and foremost their teacher. And so clearly you've established strong values and expectations of your children. And we join in helping to develop them to be the best they can be. And we're honored to recognize them. I just got to say, President Sparks, while I think about this, you know, we started this program like back in 2006, 2007. I think Manny Beretta was one of the first people that received this award. I always tell people, these students that are recognized with the Leader in Character, there's something special about what they're made of, their character, their virtue, their values, and there's lots of them. They're doing amazing, amazing things. And like I said to Linda, I've been around here long enough where I get to see them grow up and go out. They're doing amazing things. So super, super proud. I think yours was one. Geneva Sparks was a Leader in Character too. So our kids are shining everywhere, and we are now proud to recognize the latest example of our shining stars, our leaders in character, and always with thanks to the good folks at the Green Valley News, Sahuarita Sons, WIC Publishers. They sponsor us, and also our friends at Freeport McMoran, the Mines. They support us on this. So when your name is called, Mrs. Petersmark will present you with your certificate, your letter, and through the sponsorship, you get also a gift card as a token of appreciation from the board and the district to, I think it's a bookstore so you can buy books. Maybe you can even buy some good ones and read them over the spring break. It's a great way to spend your time. And so we'll begin with, so when your name is called, please come down. Ms. Petersmark will give you your award. You'll walk across the stage where Mrs. Robinson over there will position you on the steps. We have the procedure down pat. And then after everybody's up there, we'll take an official picture, and parents, you'll be able to come down and take the pictures. And if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. But if you got homework or other activities, that's okay too. So let us begin with this evening's festivities, our celebration, beginning with the leader in character from Sopari Elementary School. Congratulations, Weston Carranza. Good job, buddy. We'll now move on to our leaders in character from Anza Trail School. Again, I say plural leaders because we have an elementary honoree and a middle school honoree. So we'll begin with a elementary honoree who's also a fifth grader, just like Weston. And the Anza Trail honoree is Sophia Probst. Come on down. Smile. Good job. All right. Come on around and shake our hands. We're very proud of you. Keep up the good work. Our second honoree from Anza Trail School, the middle school side of the house, so to speak, is eighth grader Dominic Jacobo. Dominic. Good. Congratulations, Dominic. Good job. We are now going to recognize our leader in character from Sahuarita Primary School, and her name is Raina Clark. Raina. Congratulations, Raina. And we'll now go next door to Sahuarita Intermediate School, where it is my honor to recognize their leader in character, third grader Alexander Heredia Armenta. Good job. Our next honoree is from Copperview Elementary School, and their leader in character this month is fifth grader Sean Savoy. Good job, sir. Good work. We'll now move over to Wrightson Ridge K-8 School, where again we have two, beginning with the elementary leader in character, who is kindergartner Adeline Panaski. Keep up the good work. And our middle level leader in character from Wrightson Ridge is sixth grader Chelsea Van Daren. Chelsea. I think Amy does a great job of posing everybody, just don't you think? Yeah, it's a gift, Amy. And we will now recognize our leader in character from Sahuarita Middle School. Congratulations, Taylor Ward. Keep up the good work. We're now at the point of honoring the leaders in character from our 2 comprehensive high schools, beginning with Sahuarita High School, where this evening we honor senior Charlotte Robles. Congratulations. And from Walden Grove High School, we have another senior as their leader in character. Congratulations, Reese Wesley Stevens. Reese, are you the drummer in the band? I've seen you. I love watching you play. And we round out this evening's celebration with the leader in character from Sahuarita Digital Pathways Academy, our fully online, fully accredited school. This evening's honoree is a 7th grader. Congratulations, Dominic Islas. Way to go, Dominic. Congratulations to all of them. Let's give them a round of applause. Parents, you can come down if you'd like to take a picture. Please continue to encourage your children. They're going to do amazing, amazing things. And if you need to leave afterward again, it's totally okay. Betsy, did you give us these? Right on. Love it. Did you use that whole thing? Oh, I thought. I thought I was bad. We got it. We'll take care of it. It happens. Seriously? All right, we're back. It is fun. The best. Some days it's loud.
All right, thank you, everyone. That's always I think, the best part of the night.
It's very special.
I mean, there's some
I
other
would
parts that are
agree.
really important too, but. So we'll go ahead and move on. No call to the public, correct? Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to new business and number 8, skipping number 7. We'll go down to the GMP 1, the courtyard and playground contract.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Valenzuela.
So, you know, we're so blessed and fortunate here in our Sahuarita community. Our community continues to invest and therefore trust us with their resources, with their money, to give the best of ourselves in our mission of student success and education. And it's a trust that we take very seriously. I like to say we are called to honor the community's trust in all we do. And this is yet another example of this. This guaranteed maximum price, or this is the first of 2 in the next installment with CORE. And if you remember when we successfully passed the bond back in 2023, one of the objectives was to make significant improvements and upgrades and enhancements, renewal in the courtyards and in the playground structures of all of our schools. And the goal was that this bond would touch every school, that we asked people what some of the needs were, and that we did things that would impact all of the schools. So this program has enhancements that are playground structures, there are enhancements that are flooring, or I guess you'd call it turf, or landscaping, gravel, things like that. But this, just so that you know, this project touches Link. It touches Sahuarita Primary School, Sahuarita Intermediate School, Anza Trail School, and Sopri School. And there will be another one, because again, there's a lot of moving parts, right, Scott? A lot of moving parts. But the goal is to get this going and to get it done so that when our students come back in the fall for the new school year, they'll have these new amenities in their schools. And as always, we're working with our friends and partners at Core Construction and our friends at Swayman Associates. And so this particular GMP, I guess it's called number 1, hashtag number 1, and then number 22, is for $1,229,230. And I would recommend approval of that GMP as it is presented this evening.
Very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
I just want to put a shout out for SIS. They're finally getting their swings. So that was something that, as I was involved with their parent-teacher partnership back when my kids were there, and that was something that we had been working towards even at that time. So I'm super excited to see the swing set on here.
It's the little things
It's
sometimes.
the little things, which are really expensive.
There's nothing cheap.
Yeah.
I too am grateful. Just that, you know, a lot of our schools were built in a period where the state funded the campus, meaning
Yes, sir.
swings, covers, you know,
Right.
the lawns. And then some of our schools were built in a period of time where the school facilities board paid for a building,
Right.
didn't pay for anything else. And so this is a really great opportunity to kind of upgrade and renew some of those older structures that have been around and had those amenities, and then also complete some of those amenities. I think Darlene would be, Ms. Robinson would be excited. Like Anza Trail has been a work in progress for many years. But also many of these structures have needed to be replaced or updated. So I think that's just really great.
You know, I was just going to interject, and just in listening to you, John, one of the things that I'm proud of, and I truly believe it's only possible on the level we do it because we take local control of our local schools and our local community. There's a lot of moving parts out in the world, but we can control our little corner of it. And that's the fact that whether you're a student at 70-year-old Sahuarita Primary School or 7-year-old Wrightson Ridge, the standards of instruction, the instructional technology, the implementation of safety hardware and furniture and equipment, it's comparable. Our students have comparability, but it's due to our community, and this exemplifies that. So
It's actually an important public note that we take control of that locally. I mean, a group of individuals were just succeeded in court. I'm sure there'll be some challenges to it to kind of even that out.
equalize, yes.
Equalize that. We're really blessed. We live in a community that regularly passes overrides and bonds and just additional assistance. We are one of a handful of districts really that have all of them in place. We look across the state, the reason that we've been so successful at having facilities that are maintained and updated and have modern technology and get renewed. Not only do we have a fabulous business department that has an individual very adept at getting what has been traditionally called grants out of the school facilities board. I don't know why they call them grants. They call that responsibility. But we also have taken control locally to pay for a lot of those things, and the people here have supported that. And this is a demonstration of that continued effort to use and utilize those funds as accurately and consistently and to the benefit of as many students as possible. So I just think that's important. I think a lot of people in public don't know that for many years, the state has underfunded or lacked funding for any school maintenance or upgrading other than a few that were able to get it out of the system and get it put through on the general budget. So that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up because it's, we talk about it locally and we have these things here, but we're very blessed because many, the majority, the vast majority, super majority of districts don't have even one of these over in additional fund streams that we have, and we have all three. So I'm grateful for the community we live. Sorry.
Real quick, just to bring up, I know we talked every school we've gone to about the surfacing, and I see that's in phase 2. So that was good to see that it's coming up.
It's, you bet,
always brought up, so
absolutely. It's
thank you.
one step at a time, right?
Thank you very much. Any further discussion? All right, so no further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go on to the next item, item B, the Town of Sahuarita Summer Arts Program, IGA, which is I think a pillar of this community also.
I think it's a model of the values that define our community, which is this belief that we're a community and that we will do better if we reach, in this case, reach across the street. And just as a community, find the things that we have in common and leverage our abilities, our resources, our time, our energy to create greater things together than we could do if we just try and go it alone. This is the Town of IGA Public Art Project. It is kind of a pillar. It has been around a long time, but it's been on hiatus, at least for like last year. So it's back. And just if you want to just refresh your memory, think about those beautiful little mosaic tiles that you see as you walk underneath the road in the tunnel over there that show various historical aspects of our community and its traditions. Or think about the beautiful multicolored sign that says Sahuarita right in front of City Hall as you're driving by right there. Those were all done by our students. Basically, the way this agreement works, and I do believe it's funded by PAG and RTA. And the town procures the money. They get the supplies. They work with the school in developing a project. We provide a teacher, and the students, they get a chance to do paid art in the summer, and they get to enhance the aesthetics of our community through public art. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's a very positive program, and we all look forward every year to what's going to be the outcome and what part of the community they're going to beautify and how. So this, I call this is the Sahuarita Wins Way, and it's once again my pleasure to recommend approval of the IJ with the Town of Sahuarita for the 2026 Youth Art Program.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion has second. Any further discussion? I just think this is a great program. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It really is all the benches with the trash cans that are decorated, the power boxes that are painted and decorated. You see this all over the community. And I don't think many people realize not only does the funding provide salary for the educator, but it also pays the students. It's a job.
Summer work.
And it's summer work, and they have to
Life
show
skills.
up, and they're expected to be on time and work in the summer and perform a task and have a completion, which I think is really a good learning opportunity. So
I would agree.
Cool, super fun.
any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We will go on to item number C, sole source procurement. Dr. Valenzuela.
I'm just curious if any of you ever participated in DECA when you were in high school. DECA, which is distributive education, it's like marketing. And I'll preface this by saying I just learned when we had our administrative team meeting beforehand, and we go around and share, that 2 of our students just qualified for nationals in DECA. So they're going next month. I think I heard Atlanta, Georgia. And so I was wondering if there was coincidence. So Arizona DECA, we're allowed to call things sole source, but they have to meet criteria. And well, there's only one Arizona DECA. Nobody else does it. So it meets the criteria. They've gone through the process, and I would recommend this designation as sole source for Arizona DECA.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Thank you very much. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to new governing board business, and that is the revised rental rates. Dr. Valenzuela.
Thank you, Dr. Sparks. I got to confess, when I first saw this item, I thought, gosh, this year's going by so fast, but are we really already approving the rates for next year? And then I found out that that will happen, but not exactly yet. This is as you know, we are required to capture as much as we can, within some allowable exceptions, the cost associated with renting our facilities to outside groups. But this is simply in addition to this year's rental rate approval. And if you think back, for any of you that went to go see The Little Mermaid recently, I did. It was phenomenal production. They had this new piece of equipment. It's called a short throw projector. It basically enhances the sets by projecting the very realistic picture of the set on the back screen or the back wall. And it's a pretty expensive piece, so we rent it out. And we're already having groups that want that service, us to provide that service and rent it out, but we didn't have rental for it. So I think we added the rate. I think it's $115 a day if they want to use it. So that is the only amendment. And so I would recommend approval of these rental rates with this revision.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. Now we'll go on to the board meeting schedule update.
Yes, and I just want to clarify, Dr. Sparks, we are still meeting. We are not, we're not making any changes of that sort. But, a little while ago, you were talking about how, about our facilities and how we value them. This building right here is almost 50 years old, and look how beautiful it is. And there are a lot of people, some of us think, John Flannery, I know Manny Villa worked here, and now Evan Gomes. And it's a beautiful facility because we take really good care of it. But we are committed, even though it's old, to keeping it at top level. And so we're realizing, and we're still realizing more, that it needs some tender loving care, and it needs a pretty significant renovation in its electrical systems and its electrical functionalities. And in addition to that, while we have scaffold all over the place, we're gonna paint it again. So keep it in tip-top shape. Of course, what that means is that we have stuff going on here through the end of the year, through Memorial Day. And so as soon as that ends, we're going to get the contractors in here, and they're going to be going like gangbusters, hopefully to be done by the end of July when the students come back. So what that obviously means is that we're not going to be able to meet in here from late May till July. And so we've developed a contingency plan, and I think Mr. Downs has already done his legwork to set it up with those that need to be contacted. We're going to move our summer meetings next door to the library at Sahuarita Middle School. As you know, it's a big library. It's got reasonable space for us to accommodate those meetings. Those are the only changes. And with that, I would recommend the board's approval of the revised board meeting schedule for this current calendar year.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the policy advisory revisions.
The policy advisory revisions, yes, sir, Dr. Sprague. I sometimes feel like these policy advisories are kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. It just keeps coming back. And I will say, I don't mean to burst your bubble, Dr. Sparks, but I know that if possible, your preference is always to grab like the whole enchilada. There's one little snippet on the bottom
I know we have to take separate.
that we'll have
I
to
saw
take
it.
separate. But other than that, these are policies that the rest of that voluminous group is policies that largely pertain to financial requirements, operations, procurement, accounting, reporting, auditing, and a lot of it's pretty straightforward with some amendments based on new legislation and new administrative rules. It's, as we also know, ASBA's been undergoing kind of a structural streamlining, which I think we think is a good thing, and kind of cleaning up the format of the policies. So all of those policies that are listed there under volume 37, number 5, second reading, I would recommend approval at this time. And before you ask, as I'm aware of, we've had no inquiries since the last table about any of these policies.
Thank you very much. So I want to make sure I understand. That means we're accepting, the recommendation is accept volume 34, 37 as approved second read and volume 37 as first read table.
Yes, sir. And however, right now we're just doing the first one, and we'll actually have to do another motion. I'm sorry, Dr.
It's under the same letter.
Well,
Can we not count it in? All
It's-
right. So we'll go ahead and take 34, 37 is the recommendation.
te dije.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Thank you. They make fun of me because I tend to take all these.
You're very efficient,
Well,
Dr.
because
Parks. You're very efficient.
most people get really bored when you start reading policy and people fall asleep and it's really uncomfortable.
And we still have more important business to do also, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion about those first two? Did I already take the vote? I did not.
No.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and now take the small
Take the
snippet at
small,
the bottom, which
and
is
just
first
so
read.
you know, this is one that frankly, it just kind of snuck under my radar. It kind of just, but it's really good that it did because it allowed us to make some updates of our own, such as some of the titling, even some of our official nomenclature and titles of our people. Like way when these were done, Lizette's position was called business manager or something like that. And we want to make sure that it's up to date. So we've updated it in its entirety. And at this time, I'd recommend tabling of this regulation.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation to table the policy update as stated.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
I just have a quick question for Lizette. Does it make your life easier or does it make it worse? No, just the newest one, we're on first read. Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Got to
Okay,
play by the
Okay.
rules.
okay. Perfect.
And we are a public entity, so therefore we love our policies.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. Now we will move on to the next, which is new business personnel. I hear that we're getting some new principals today.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
there's a whole lot of people. I know that's happening because there's a whole lot of people in the audience still.
Yes, sir, Dr. Sparks. It's my honor to this evening make two recommendations to you and to the board for consideration. You know, as we've gone through this very rigorous, very multifaceted process that we take with great seriousness to identify new leaders, I realized that in the case of both schools, Wrights and Ridge, and Copperview, where we have retiring principals, and we extend great gratitude to both Mrs. Lazardi and Dr. Ralston for the tremendous legacy that they leave, and we're very grateful. And as I was walking over there today, I realized that both schools have only had one principal. In the case of Wrightson Ridge, Shelley opened that school in 2019 and has been there 7 years. In the case of Copperview, we opened that school in 2012, and they've had one principal, Dr. Desi Ralston. So, and you know, we talk a lot, and I know that the board understands very, very seriously and very deeply the importance of principal leadership, of many things that impact the effectiveness of a school, the abilities of teachers, professional development, parent engagement. We know that the leadership, the formal leadership of that principal is a critical factor that has a significant effect size. So we take it, you know, with great seriousness. And I want to begin with the appointment at Copperview. And I just got to tell you, when I first met Brian Huey, the gentleman up there with the nice bright red shirt and the blue jeans, he knows the colors. Brian, I had just come here, it was 21 years ago. I don't know why he looks so youthful and I don't. But he was in the back, he was on a tractor, a baseball field, and he was scraping in a hot summer day the warning track of the Sahuarita High School baseball field. And of course I could see it because it was right outside of my office. And I looked, and then he had gathered a group of parents, and they were building that clubhouse. They were building a clubhouse from hey, Home Depot, can you donate lumber? And they were framing it themselves, and they were painting it. And it's an amazing example of community. And so I, of course, introduced myself because if you haven't picked up, I really like baseball. And I thought, man, this is really neat that this gentleman works at a school that calls itself the Mustangs, because he's a workhorse. And I say that with the utmost respect and compliment. Nobody's going to outwork him. And they were just coming off of a state title, again, 2005. I think then sophomore Manny Beretta was one of the key players on that team. And Manny Beretta was one of the first kids that I met when I came to Sahuarita, and just a fine young man. And so I got to know Brian. He wanted to learn more. He wanted to grow. So he left us. And you know, we honor and we respect that. I believe he went to Rio Rico for a little bit as an athletic director, and then he was in TUSD as an assistant principal, maybe in Sunnyside. And then he came back. So I call that Brian Huey 2.0. And he did a great job as assistant principal at SMS and at Onza Trail. I remember many things, but one was the rapport that he had with kids and how he worked to provide kids with incentives for getting excited about something as exciting as taking the Arizona State tests. And he made it fun. And he was given high fives and raffling off. Back then it was like Walkmans. Do you remember those? So yeah, and it was great. And then he had to leave us again because he had an opportunity to be a principal in the Sunnyside Unified School District, where he's been for 10 years and been doing a phenomenal job of raising student achievement and building strong programs at the Mission Manor School right there off of Mission Manor Park, right there by Valencia and 12th. So you can understand when Brian mentioned coming back, why I was really excited about that, because I know what his head is and I know what his heart is. Not to mention the intangibles. First of all, he lives here. He's vested in our community. I heard when I was briefed about the interview that his theme was, I'm coming home. Welcome home. And his amazing children both went to Copperview Elementary School. So he's dialed into that school, that community. His wonderful wife is our chief financial officer and an amazing human being in her own right. So welcome home applies. For the sake of the process and the seriousness with which we take it, we have, like I heard from Darlene Scott, 16 applicants, which speaks to this community and the environment we've created that people want to be here, even in these times where you hear about shortages and everything else. Everything was duly scrutinized, as I'm sure you know as board members. There was screening, there were formal interviews, there were presentations. They had a committee that had district and a principal and 2 parents and a support staff member and a kid. They had it covered. I met with Brian. We did reference checks on the front end to make sure, even though we all know Brian. And it was really clear. And it was even more clear today when we went to speak to the staff and faculty at Copperview that the connection and the fit for him at Copperview School it's right, it's good, it's a gift, it's a blessing, and that the legacy that Desi Ralston has led and served there is only going to continue to grow as Brian comes in and puts his own leadership and his own time and energy and works with that staff. They're going to continue to do great things. For the record, Brian has a bachelor's degree in kinesiology from Lubbock Christian University and a master's degree in ed leadership from NAU, where he also did some doctoral work. So it is my honor to recommend the appointment of Brian Huey as the next principal of Copperview effective July 1st, 2026.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I have a little bit overall. I'll be quick because they know I like to talk. But, I seriously thank you so much for the process for selecting our administrators, both of these principals. As Dr. V was saying, it's so important for you guys to take care of the safety of our students, make sure they succeed, but also you're the face of our schools. That's so important, no pressure. But we are proud. I don't want to say that we're a little snooty, but maybe we are, but we're the best. So we want the best. And so thank you everyone for the process, all that you did for the selection. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to add that I think it's interesting because I've been here a little while, not as long as you.
But
I'm
almost.
coming up on 12
But
years,
almost.
right, on the board. And sorry, I know he's standing up ready to talk. Maybe just made him sit down again. And he's like, oh, John's talking, so I might have a seat. But, I remember your time at Sahuarita Middle School. And then I think when you left, you think people stopped paying attention. But I remember and noted that you took a school that I would say arguably has many social determinants of success that are a difficult path, and brought that school even farther up the rating scale to a B school from lower than that in an area that has many challenges in our world. And so I recognize that, and I think it's funny because I talked to you not long back on a side of a football field. I don't think you'd think I was paying attention, and but I have always seen you to be a compassionate, kind human being that cares about the people you lead, and meets people where they're at, helps them to grow and to accomplish tasks that at times seem daunting. And all of you in this room know that what we do and what you are engaged in a daily basis it is work and it is an effort. And in many ways, it's gotten harder, I think, in the past chunk of years. So I'm grateful that that school will leave the capable hands of Desi Ralston, Dr. Ralston, and move into your hands, because I know that the individuals there will be cared for as they work to meet the needs of the students at that school and our community. So that's what I have to say. So any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Congratulations. Yes, please.
Talk first, then just shake hands.
Dr. Sparks, members of the governing board, district leadership, and our entire wonderful community. Thank you for allowing me to return home to serve the incredible students, staff, and families at Copperview. It truly means the world to me, you guys, to bring me back to such a special place in my heart, which is Copperview. Obviously, my kids went there as well, but Dr. Ralston and I both Nathan and Anissa's hands are in the actual cement when it was built. Like I've been part of this every year because my kids went through there. My nephews went through, Lionel Gastelum, Julian Gastelum goes there now, and it just feels like I've been a part of this for all 14 years. And just again, thank you guys. First, I really want to thank my beautiful wife for going on this journey with me, both educationally as well as our life journey. And your support, your encouragement's been just unbelievable and such a blessing to me, and love you and thank you. I'd also, again, like to thank my children. Nathan's not here. He's a business administration major. He's playing baseball down in Alabama, and so he's obviously not with us. But again, thank him for everything that he's gone through with my journey as well. My beautiful daughter Anissa, who's a junior up at Walden Grove, super proud of her, and thank you. And then I can go through each and every one of them, but I brought the whole family. I brought Nana, Tata, I brought mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, nieces, nephews. So just, thank you guys. I mean, again, going through this journey and your belief in me, it meant more than you guys will probably ever know. So I love you guys, and thank you for being here. Next is definitely I want to recognize Dr. Ralston, for your incredible leadership, your dedication that you've given Copperview for the 14 years. You've been amazing. Your commitment, you've made Copperview truly, it's one of the best, academic schools in the entire state, and you should be applauded. So thank you for that. You've created a great legacy there, and I look forward to continuing that and building upon that foundation. So thank you. Leading a school, in particular, Copperview, it feels like home is more than a position. It's truly a responsibility. So I've got the responsibility to, nurture a sense of belonging to our kids, inspire, and have them, appreciate the love of learning. Celebrate every student. I'm very, very big on celebrations of students. And just, again, build community, where every child has that opportunity to thrive, in Copperview as well as our district. Again, my journey, I know it's been talked about a little bit here. Again, it's just truly led me back home. From the time as a teacher and a coach, I'll go off on a tangent just real quick. So when you're talking about that clubhouse and Manny Beretta, I remember on a Saturday we got the old lockers from SMS. And I'll never forget, they were on the tractor and they were falling, and Manny was helping me with them, taking them over to the field. And it's just been a great ride to being a teacher, spending some time at SMS and then at Anza Trail. And, now over a decade at Mission Manor, which they've been amazing to me. It's been a great, great, great place. And so again, thank you. Couldn't be more excited and honored to serve all the students, the staff, and the entire community of Sahuarita community. Again, my journeys has taken me many places, but at the end, it brought me right back home where my heart's always been. So thank you guys very much.
Congratulations.
Dr. Valenzuela. And when we move on to the next one, and after we finish the next announcement, is it okay with everybody if we take about a 5-minute or 10-minute break in the board meeting, just so they can, that they don't, or we can finish. But I think,
Whatever is
what
your,
would you like to do?
whatever is your pleasure.
So if after we make the second, which but I also recognize there are people here who want to congratulate and support. So if after the second one, you'll all give us 4 minutes, we will finish the board meeting and close. Is that fair?
I think that's a deal, Dr.
All right, very
Sparks.
cool. Thank you. On to the next one,
On
which
to
is
the- on
as
to the-
exciting. Wrights and Ridge Principal.
You know, I think it's really amazing and a blessing that we cast a wide net. I mean, we left these positions posted for many weeks, and we drew a wide pool of well-qualified candidates, and that we selected through this very multifaceted, very methodical process, 2 people who in their own way have very strong and very deep roots in this community. And you know, and the more you look, the more you see the strength of those roots and of those connections. So this is Christopher Jackson, and in talking to Chris in recent days, I learned that his wife, Elisa, was an ICAT at Walter Douglas Elementary School when I was the principal. Now you realize that I've been here for 21 years. So that's been a little while.
She started college early. Right?
She's,
Very
yes,
early.
and yeah, and I'm old. But I was like, well, and then I got to talk to Chris, and I learned that, and I've known Chris because the education community is small, and he's been an educator for 20 plus years in this area. But I learned that, like me, he's a native Tucsonan. In fact, he's a 5th generation native Tucsonan in this area. I think I'd heard went to Tampa, but actually I think graduated from Tucson High, right? He's a Badger, like my wife. And so he's been very embedded in this community. And I even find little interesting tidbits. It's a wildcat, by and large, as I'll talk about a little bit. But during his college experience, I think in graduate school, he was a graduate assistant and was mentored by a great leader, Lute Olson, and worked as a grad assistant in that. And if you watch Lute Olson, it wasn't just about X's and O's and 2 points and 3 points and defensive strategies and zone versus man. It was about developing young men. And so what a great experience. So again, a native Tucsonan, his wife, Elisa, ICAT in Flowing Wells, like me, came from Flowing Wells and dug roots here and currently teaches in our district at the Anza Trail School. Both of their kids, Jaden, I think, is a sophomore at Walden, and Jace is a 6th grader at Anza Trail. So they're dialed in to our community. They're a part of our community on so many levels. And then I look at Chris's experience and professional accomplishments. Like I said, 20 plus year educator, has worked in a variety of settings, taught in the Tucson Unified School District, taught in the Vail School District, taught in the charter school system. So has some of those types of experiences, I counted about a dozen years of school, of K-12 public school principalship experiences, including principalships in Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District 35, or as we call it, the Rio Rico District, at Mountain View School in Rio Rico, and also at Calabasas, which I think is a middle school. The last 3 years, he's served as the principal of another K-8 school in Tucson, Hollinger School, which is a school right there on Ajo Road. I think it's like near the VA, like near 12th, between 12th and 6th over there. And I talked to his assistant superintendent, done a really solid job of really building academic systems to raise student achievement and overcome some of the challenges that are contextual, in that area. So very, very grateful for that. So it has a great resume, has been recognized for that. Chris was recognized by our association, the Arizona School Administrators, as a distinguished administrator. Chris was elected by his peers, not just in Arizona, but across they call it Zone 9. Just like ASBA, they have zones, and it's basically the western region. So several western states under the umbrella of the National Association of Elementary School Principals, and he still is in that role as Zone 9 Director, which means he's on the board of the National Elementary Principals. Chris is very involved in the community as a coach, as a mentor. Again, same process as we talked about with Brian. Had about 15, 16 applicants. Same process, quarterbacked by Scott and Darlene, with multiple stakeholders, granular attention to detail on the reference checks, the process, the questioning, the stakeholders. And I myself, Chris and I, have been in the same circles as colleagues for all of these 20 years. In fact, another little tidbit that you may remember or not, you remember 2 years ago, and maybe this is a little bit of coincidence or not, small world maybe, he was a judge when Wrightson Ridge was identified as an Arizona A+ School of Excellence. So he's very involved in the profession. And he and I talked a lot about that. We talked about books. We talked about public education, the importance of public ed, and kind of how we can overcome the headwinds that we face right now to keep honoring the promise of public education for all of our community's youth and beyond, Arizona and across the country, because we believe it's that special of a thing. And after all of that, he emerged as the clear consensus recommendation after I met with Chris for like 2 hours, and I enjoyed the conversation. It was very fruitful, very candid, very positive. I felt further affirmed in his recommendation. And Chris has earned his degrees at the U of A. His bachelor's is at the U of A. He has 2 masters. He earned a master's in literacy, language, reading, and culture at U of A, and also a master's in education in leadership and administration, the same program that Brian graduated from Northern Arizona University. And I'm honored to recommend the appointment of Christopher Jackson as the next principal of Wrightson Ridge K-8 School, effective July 1st, 2026.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. You have done wonderful, both of you, at that. Thank you. So we have a recommendation and motion. Any further comment? Well, I will say that I have not had the opportunity to work with you in our community, but I do know that you are invested and involved in our community. I don't have any children play basketball. Sorry, they were all swimmers. But I hear that you have been involved in our community, and I know I speak for myself, and I know I speak for the board, that we're excited that you're joining our team. And I think you will find, I hope that that rings true as I say this to all the people in this room, that you will not find a more supportive, a more engaged, and a more directed board in all of Arizona to help you succeed in your role under the direction of Dr. Valenzuela. And so I can say that, and I'm excited to have you here with us and look forward to working with you. So, any other comments?
Thank you, John.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm overcome with emotion. I got to meet with some people earlier today, and the thought, I talk to God a lot all day long about this, and the thought that keeps coming back to me is gratitude. I'm so grateful. Everything I've ever done professionally and personally, I've put all my heart into it, and I have to be moved by matters of the heart. And as Dr. Valenzuela mentioned, I've been in the orbit and in the epicenter of Sahuarita for quite some time, but things have not lined up to work directly with the school district. And the reason for that is because, I was unable to leave people that I had committed to, and I was unable to leave kids and communities. And the hardest part of this whole thing is going to be tomorrow when I have to talk to my current staff, because while I know that this is the right decision for me at this juncture, and I know that my current school is in a great situation, and we've worked together hard to leave it better than we found it, it's still very, very difficult. But I know this is the right decision because it's in my heart. I'm really grateful for you all. I've gotten to work with Mrs. Robinson and all of the people here in Sahuarita Unified, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you again. Mr. Scott, I know I always call him Scott because I see him on the recruitment trail, but Mr. Downs, we've been bumping into each other for years, trying to recruit against each other for teachers and everything else, but it's always been amicable and friendly. And Dr. Valenzuela and I have gotten a chance to, again, be in each other's orbit and see each other and run into each other, but it felt so good having that meeting the other day, because I could tell exactly what you said, Mr. President, that it was genuine support. And I think we're very like-minded in very many ways, and I'm looking forward to working with that. I've done my research too, by the way. I've looked into things a lot, and I know that the Sahuarita School Board, you want what's best for kids. You want to do what's best for this community. Your intentions are pure, and that's very, very important. So I knew that this was a good time to make that move as well. I'm really, really grateful, immensely grateful for Shelley Lazardi. I'm walking into a situation where there is better than a strong foundation. There's an elevation that she has created and her staff has created. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful to do that. And I said it to her earlier today, and I want to say it on the record. Shelley, I hope you're at Wrights and a lot still. I want to see you there, and I want to learn from her, and I want to learn from you all. Really grateful. It's rare that you're able to work someplace and leave not only with grace, but with support and encouragement. And TSD Assistant Superintendent Mark Alvarez is here, and he's here for me. And, words cannot express how grateful and how much I've learned about servant leadership and being a shepherd, and just doing what's best, and maybe not what's always popular, but what's always best for kids. So Mr. Alvarez, I want to thank you very much. I want to thank my wife and my kids. Can't look at them because I don't want to cry in public, and I might anyway, but it's really hard to be a principal, and it's hard to be a principal's wife. And it can be very hard to be a principal's wife in a small community. And life is changing for me in a really great way. It's also changing for Elisa in a really great way. And there's no way we could do this, Brian knows this as well, without our wives, and without Elisa. And I also want to say, it's incredibly hard to be a principal's son. It's really hard to be a principal's kid, even when you have great kids like mine. And they have to do things like sit through an hour-and-a-half long presentation and wonder when it's going to end and what time dinner is, just because their dad brought them. But my kids are amazing. They're doing a great job. I know sometimes as a principal's son, you feel like you got to be there's a higher expectation that people expect more out of you, but I want to let both of you guys know, Jaden and Jace, that you guys are doing just fine. All right, you guys are doing just fine, and I'm proud of you, and I love you guys. I want to thank my parents who aren't here right now, but they're my foundation, my rock, and I know everybody wants to get on with their evening. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's here. I'm honored to serve the community that I live in. You know, my whole philosophy is sideways totem pole. I understand that I have the biggest chunk of responsibility, but I'm not the expert at every last thing, and I never could be. But I need to be wise enough to recognize those that I can learn from, include all stakeholders, listen, you know, act with kindness and courage. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to this. And I've always enjoyed the work that I do, but I've never been more excited and more meant for the job that I'm about to take on. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. And I look forward to working with you all, and I look forward to learning alongside all of you. So thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much for both those fine recommendations. It's been a
Thank you,
wonderful
sir.
evening.
Thank you, President Sparks.
We'll go ahead and move on to the consent agenda, Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir, and at this time, you have a list of routine consent matters that may be considered comprehensively, and I do recommend approval of the consent agenda in its entirety.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. I'll go ahead and number 12. Any future agenda item considerations you'd like to bring forward at this time? No. Thank you very much. No executive session this evening. We'll establish the next board meeting here, April 8th, in this building at the regularly scheduled time. And may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll bring this meeting to adjournment. Thank you for
Great
being here.
meeting. Thank you. It was great.
Yeah, it was good. I told you, it was actually less than 4 minutes. I think it was even faster. Thank you very much.